Good morning, everyone. I first of all must thank Professor Dhoop for inviting me here today in this very important conference. As my previous speaker, he did not use the PowerPoint. I will also like to skip most of the things so that we can listen to everyone. Let me tell you one thing in the very beginning. I do not have experience of industry. Right from day one, I have been in teaching. So I have never worked in the industry. So some of the things which I may speak here may sound little different for our friends. But anyway, coming to the topic talent management, let me tell you some of the things which we have been facing. The problem of sustainability, which has been in discussion and other things for last decade or so, was first most of the things were discussed in the manufacturing sector, but now slowly and slowly it has come to in managing the talent and other things. Mr. Bhushan was talking about cultural issues, social issues and other things in the sustainable development. I will just keep myself limited to some of the things which has been happening in the academic world. We as a country take pride in having demographic dividend, demographic advantage. A lot of conferences and seminars are being conducted on skill development. We are talking in terms of providing manpower to the whole world in next 20 years. Political parties have brought this into their agenda for the coming elections, that we want to train people in millions and what figures I do not know. Why it is happening? Fortunately, unfortunately, I was associated with AICTE for about 6 years, and I had visited this college long back in 1997 as an AICTE official. See what happened with our education system. We have been opening a university practically every second day in the last couple of years. My figure is about a year old because I did not get authentic data of the present situation, but number of private universities which I am showing here, 148, has gone up to 164. What is happening in the sector? On one side, we are telling that we are not getting students. On the other side, we are also saying that we have increased gross enrollment ratio to 17-18% and we want to take it to 30% by 2025 or so. Where is this figure getting confusion? The whole thing is that we are producing, I'll come back. We are producing low employable graduates. Every other day, every week, every month, NASSCOM or FICCI or CII comes out with a figure that only 12% students are employable, only 15% students are employable. Now what is this happening? Why are we not able to give quality education which will make our output employable? I was just talking before we came here with Mr. Gupta about the placement world. You go to any college, everyone says 100% placement. I was coming to this room, I saw a what you call standee or something. This was not there in our days, so some of the new words I don't remember. Says 100% placement. Very good. I am very happy. But then where are our graduates employed? If it is only 15% employability, then how everyone is claiming 100% placement? Whenever any student comes to our institute, we are a private university, the first and foremost question being asked by the parents is, how is your campus? They even do not say campus placement. They say, how is your campus? I have not seen the student. I have not taught him. How can I say what is the placement scenario after 4 years or after 3 years or after 2 years? But then, if I say, no, it is 100%, many of them get satisfied. Yes, very good. This is a good college, good university. 100% placement. And then the next question is, what is the package? Again, a very, very confusing word. What is the package? So all these things, I'll come back to the talent management part. I'll just put the emphasis on the last line, not only hire, but retain also. This was being talked that people are changing job after 2 years, people are changing job after 6 months. We need to look into our systems, we'll need to look into our procedures and find out, are we retaining them? I'm not aware of what is happening in Delhi management institutes or others, but at least in UP I know that the average life with the institution of a faculty member is now less than 2 years. People come, join, spend some time, get an increment of 1,000 rupees in some other college, they go. Sometimes institutes are happy that they don't have to carry on with some of the burdens. But then what is happening? We are not able to really develop our talent. We are not able to identify what kind of training or what kind of development should I invest in my faculty member who is going to live longer with us. So nurturing talent, this slide I will just highlight. Future success of the organization depends on talent of our future leaders. External hiring at middle and higher level may not be always right. It is necessary that we create a sustainable pipeline of internal talent for promotions. Systematic and integrated approach is needed. Talent management culture is must. And we must look for next wave of talent. What do we require in future? When we were a student, we never had these kind of gadgets with us that we will make PowerPoint presentation or correct it online and everything. We used to make overhead projector sheets and write it. Once it is written, then if you want to correct it, it will take hell lot of a time. But now, new things have come, and if we do not learn, if we do not know the next, what is happening, the students come, sir, are you there on Facebook? Sir, are you there on WhatsApp? And what is not? I don't know. Technology is changing so fast that I tell them, no sir, I am not on anything. If you want, you can send me a mail. That much I know, not beyond that. But I don't blame them because this is what is needed for the future. Gone are the days when we were sending the reports in hard copies to MHRD or UGC or AICTE. Now we have to do it, everything online. Everything has to be uploaded, updated online. So I must know all those things so that I can get away with them. So let's talk on this slide little bit. I told you that we are talking a lot of demographic advantage. We are saying that we are one of the most young nation. Our population in the age group of 25 to 35 will be 100 million. All political parties you are seeing are busy in canvassing with the 10 crore new voters that have been added since the last general election, and most of you are sitting here, because they are finding that if we do not bring these things into our agenda, the youth may not support us. The same thing is going to happen in the government offices, public sector undertakings, and the private sector. We have to create sense of pride in our professions that need dirtying the hand. You ask any parent, are you ready to send your son or daughter for a job which will require little bit of sweating and other? 99% say no. Everyone wants air-conditioned environment where 9 to 5 job is there. No one wants to go in field. No one wants to go into the area. Some of the things which talent management will also require is in the area of cross-cultural issues. We need to understand the culture of different countries, different region. I was in Muscat for 7 years, 2005 to 2012. It is very near to India, just 2.5 hours flight, less than Delhi Trivandrum flight, but then the cultural change was enormous. When I went there on the first day, a peon comes, Omani citizen. I did not know that I have to get up, stand and shake hand with him. I was head of the organization. And he went down and complained to the manager, administration, that the dean does not know any manners. He did not get up, he did not shake hand with me. But I had never imagined that I will have to do it in India, that thing. So that senior person came to me and he explained, sir, I am very sorry, but please try to follow these things. I have to learn. If you go to a restaurant, not like our place that the driver will be eating in some dhaba or something, you have to take him in the same restaurant where you are eating and he has to order from his own menu. You can't stop him. Not only these things, for everything, there is a difference. Let's accept it because it helps. If you know, a lot of companies are now giving language courses, German, French, Japanese, just to know. And the last slide before I conclude, passionate teachers and trainers. Talent management is a very passionate job. Teachers and trainers have to be dedicated and careful in their delivery. Employees have to reciprocate in true sense so that trainers feel satisfied and motivated. The feel of giving for tomorrow. We must believe as teachers and trainers that educating our students and employees about preserving our resources for building tomorrow is our duty, and we must not give up. One more slide, because I have MBA students. It is necessary to invest in sustainability leaders of coming generation. MBAs are a very important talent pool. MBAs must equip themselves with right combination of different success ingredients. Internships are very useful. And meaningful work experience with clear and deeper understanding of complexities of sustainable development can make MBAs most sought after in the organizations. Thank you very much for giving me time. It was my pleasure. Thank you.